Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good day to our lecturer, Sir Adli. Today, my team members and me will present on the topic the challenges and opportunity arising from socio-cultural diversity in the context of education for sociology in education assignment. Okay, so before I start, allow me to introduce our group members. I am Nurul and with me are Ardilla and Rubhini. Okay, so together we will explore how socio-cultural diversity shapes the education system, bringing both challenges and also opportunities. Okay, so I will start with what is socio-cultural diversity? Okay, so sociocultural diversity refers to the differences among individuals based on culture, ethnicity, language, religion, and also social background. Okay, next I will talk about the importance of socio-cultural diversity in education. So, in every classroom, students come from different cultural, linguistic, and social backgrounds. Okay, so recognizing and embracing these differences can create a more inclusive and enriching learning environment. Okay, so let's go through the key reason why socio-cultural diversity matters in education. Okay, so the first one is promotes inclusivity and equity. Okay, so first, socio-cultural diversity promotes inclusivity and equity. Every students, regardless of their background, should feel valued and respected in the classroom. When we recognize and celebrate differences, we create an environment where students feel a sense of belonging. So this in turn help them engage better in their learning and build confidence in their abilities. Okay, so next, diversity in the classroom also enhances learning and critical thinking. Okay, so when students are exposed to different cultures, perspective, and way of thinking, they become more open-minded and they learn to question stereotypes, challenge biases, and analyze different viewpoints, which strengthens their problem solving and decision making. Okay, so the third one is diversity helps teachers improve their teaching strategies, understanding student cultural and learning differences allow educators to adapt their method, making lesson more effective and inclusive. And this could include using different teaching styles, incorporating multicultural content, or providing support based on student needs. Okay, so next is one of the biggest benefit of sociocultural diversity is its role in reducing discrimination and prejudice. When when students interact with peers from different background, they learn to appreciate differences instead of fearing them. So this promote respect, tolerance, and also social harmony, both in school and in society. Next, learning about different cultures and experiences helps students develop empathy. When they understand the challenges and perspective of others, they become more compassionate and respectful. Okay, so this improve social interaction, reduce conflict, and foster teamwork, which are essential skills for both personal and professional life. Okay, so the last one is prepare students for a globalized world. So in today's interconnected world, students will interact with people from diverse background, whether in higher education or the workplace. By experiencing diversity in school, they develop essential skills such as culture awareness, adaptability, and also communication. Okay, so this prepares them to collaborate effectively in a multicultural society. Okay, so next, let's take a look at challenges and opportunities of sociocultural diversity in education, particularly in the Malaysian context. Okay, so Malaysia is a multicultural country with diverse ethnic groups, language, and tradition. While this diversity bring richness to our education system, it also comes with certain challenges that must navigate. Okay, at the same time, it provides unique opportunities for learning and growth. Okay, so let's explore this aspect in detail. Okay, so first, I will discuss on the challenges of socio-cultural diversity in education. Okay, so the first one is language barrier. Okay, so one of the most common challenges in diverse classroom is language barrier. In Malaysia, we have students from various linguistic backgrounds, including Malay, Chinese, Tamil, and indigenous languages. Although Bahasa Malaysia is the national language, some students may struggle with it. Okay, especially in rural areas where their home language is differs. Okay, this can affect their academic performance and confidence in communication. For example, in Sabah and Sarawak, indigenous student might speak Iban or Kadazan Dusun at home, making it difficult for them to follow lesson in Bahasa Malaysia or English. Next is cultural misunderstanding. Okay, so diverse classroom may also experience cultural misunderstanding. Students from different background may have the different custom, tradition, and perspective that others may not fully understand. So this can sometimes lead to the misinterpretation, or even conflict. For example, some students might not shake hand due to religious belief, but others might misinterpret this as being rude or unfriendly. Okay, the third one is discrimination and bias. Okay, so unfortunately, sociocultural diversity can also lead to discrimination or bias. Okay, students from minority groups may face stereotyping or exclusion, whether consciously or unconsciously. So this can negatively impact their self-esteem and participation in school activities. For example, orang asli students in Malaysia have historically faced educational disadvantage due to systemic biases and lack of proper Okay, so the last one is curriculum and pedagogy gaps. Okay, so the curriculum may not always reflect the diversity of students' background, leading to a lack of representation. If the teaching materials and methods are not inclusive, some students may feel disconnected from the learning process. For example, if history textbook focus only on one dominant narrative, students from other ethnic group may feel their heritage is not valued. Okay, so next, I will talk about the opportunities in diverse educational environment. Okay, so the first one is rich learning experiences. Okay, so diversity enhance learning by exposing students to different perspectives. When students from different culture interact, they gain new insight and develop critical thinking skills. For example, in Malaysian school, students celebrate various cultural festivals like Hari Raya, Chinese New Year, and Deepavali together, fostering mutual appreciation. Next is culture awareness and tolerance. A diverse classroom helps students develop respect for different cultures. When students learn when students learn about their peers' traditional when students learn about their peers' tradition and belief, they become more open-minded and empathic. Um, for example, the program Rancangan Integrasi Murid untuk Perpaduan in Malaysia encourages students from different ethnic groups to engage in joint activities to promote unity. Okay, so next is collaboration learning. Okay, students from diverse background bring different strength to the classroom. This can lead to effective teamwork where students learn from each other experiences and skill. For example, a group project in a Malaysian school may have a student contributing their unique perspective, such as Malay students sharing traditional proverbs, while a Chinese student provides historical insight. Okay, so the last one is innovation and creativity. Diversity encourage creativity because different cultural perspective inspire new ideas and solution. Okay, for example, Malaysian fusion cuisine like nasi lemak burger reflects how different cultural influences can come together creatively, just as students can innovate through diverse thinking. Okay, so that is all from me. So I will pass the presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
Good evening to Sir Adli. My name is Rubhini and I'm going to continue from the previous slide my friend just presented. So I will be talking about a topic on in the context of a multicultural classroom, how can teacher integrate elements of culture diversity into teaching activities to add values to the students? So now let's look into the definition. What is the meaning of culture diversity? Right, culture diversity means it refers to a variety of diverse culture or ethnic groups within the society, organization, or specific settings. Meaning, culture diversity a compress of unique characteristic of a different group, including their custom, belief, language, tradition, and way of life. In an education context, it recognizes and value the various culture backgrounds that students bring to the classroom. Okay, for example, even though my school is a Tamil school and most of the students are from the same background, I still have a unique unity in the culture diversity because the teachers, there are some teachers like Muslim. So I have around 8 teachers in my school, and all of them somehow teaching their their language, their traditions, the way they bring their beliefs. So, for example, now is Ramadan, so they are going to celebrate Hari Raya. So now is a fasting time. So, as we respect our Malay teachers, all the students, including the teachers, the Indian teachers, we we won't eat in front of our Malay teachers. So this is the respect that we learn. So we learn that the Muslim are fasting now, and then we should not eat in front of them. We should not drink in front of them. So this is the respect that we give towards them, and the students in my school also doing the same thing. So the difference culture, even though the students didn't get the different culture among the students, so that they can understand okay their culture, what is the belief, but still they can learn this through the teachers. Okay, so next I'm going to share a little bit of photos where our teachers are from different background and culture. So there are some of the pictures that we celebrated Deepavali, we celebrate Chinese New Year, we celebrate Hari Raya, and then we celebrate National Day, and we celebrate birthday for the teachers. So all these things we do it together, even though it's a Tamil school, even though the students are all Indians, because we are from different culture, the teachers are from different culture, we do it together, we learn together, and they also the different the teachers also teaching us different things about their culture, their traditional, their belief. So I would like to continue my slide, and I'm going to talk about the celebration multicultural cooking class. Introduce game or sport from various culture to promote teamwork and fun learning. Collaborative projects highlight culture exchange. So in the context of multicultural classroom, teacher can integrate element of culture diversity into the teaching activities to add the value to the students. The value to the students means the student is going to learn about other religions, for example the Muslim. So even though in the school we cannot completely bring this thing, but somehow the activities that we done outside of the school can develop this and bring this together. All right. So first, I would like to talk about the celebration of multicultural cooking class. So in our school, we celebrate. We have this one day for food food program. Food program is a day that we emphasize on the nutrition, food that we should take, the vegetables that we should take. That means basically the healthy food that the students should eat. So this is one of the opportunity that we use to bring up the dishes from other culture. For example, on my left side there is a teacher who is preparing the Indian food, and on the right side where the picture of myself and another teacher, we are preparing nasi lemak. So after we prepare this food, we will explain to the students, and we even ask the question to the students, like, okay, what culture do you think this food came from? And then the student will give some feedback out of it. Okay. Next, integrated multicultural games and sport. Okay, throughout the games and sport also, my school students, they are learning about culture diversity of other races and other ethnic. For example, this is one of the sport day. It's a national sport day. It happens in SK Pasir Kelang. So the school invited our school to bring our Indian traditional sport to teach to them. And in this school, all the schools, the Indian schools, the Tamil schools, the Chinese schools, and the Malay school, we all combine together and we share about our culture, our sport, our ethnic sports, our ethnic culture. For example, like Chinese, in that particular day, they teach us about Gen Z. Gen Z is the sport or the games that they play using the shuttlecocks and they kick by their leg. And from my school, we teach the other school students about kabaddi. Kabaddi is one of the traditional Indian sport that we play. And last and not the least, we play tarik pelepah kelapa sawit. This is the most famous games that we love to play during our childhood time. So all these different sports and games, it promotes the teamwork and fun learning among the students. So even though my school students, they cannot, they didn't get the integrate with the other students, other race and other ethnic of the students in the classroom to learn about their culture, but bringing them outside from the school and engage them with these kind of games and sports, they eventually will learn about the teamwork and the multicultures about other races. All right. Last but not the least, I would like to talk about the collaboration projects highlighting culture show. Okay, during throughout the culture show also, my school students able to explore and present the aspect of various culture, which can encourage them to learn from one another culture. So even though most of them are Indians, we as a teachers, we emphasize them on learning other culture. Okay, other culture, what are their show, what are they are good in their singing. For example, Malay culture, they are very good in DK Barat. So that is one of the best show that the Malay people will do, especially in Kelantan. So for Indians, we show the traditional dances and clothing, and this also done at SK Pasir Kelang, where the school students, the Malay school students, they eventually wear Indians attire, Punjabi shoe, jippa. They wear the Indians attire and dance for the Indian song. So basically, they themselves also adapting and learning about the Indians' culture, their attire, how they wear the clothes. So this is a interchanges. This kind of a interchanges show culture that happens can eventually bring the boost of the learning interest in our students as well. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Cultural diversity is not a luxury. It is an essential component of a vibrant, evolving society. David Livermore. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day to those who are watching this video. My name is Ardilla Binti Anuar and I am going to continue the presentation on the role of teachers in overcoming prejudice and stereotypes that may arise among students from different ethnic or religious backgrounds. In our increasingly diverse classrooms, it is essential that educators not only teach academic content but also foster an inclusive environment where all students feel valued, understood, and also equal. So, how can we as teachers address these challenges? Right. So first, let's define what we mean by prejudice and stereotypes. So prejudice refers to preconceived opinions or attitudes about a group of people, often based on race, ethnicity, or religion. While stereotypes are generalized beliefs that we hold about groups, sometimes positive and but often negative, that influence how we treat others. So these biases are often unconscious, meaning they can emerge without us even realizing it. So as you can see there, I have inserted some personal pictures of my school. So since I am currently teaching in SK Sata, which is an Asli school, so in this discussion, I will be focusing more on the socio-cultural differences among the Malays and Orang Asli. So for me personally, I have to admit that it was quite hard for me to adapt the new environment because before this, I used to teach in big city in Bangi Selangor, and then suddenly I got posted to a rural area in Raub, Pahang, and although I was born and raised in Raub, I have never been to Satak before in my life. So I have to prepare myself first in adapting to the new culture and background and try to understand their living condition, and only after that I can overcome the prejudice among the students. So these are some points that I want to share on the role of teachers in overcoming prejudices. So the first point is promoting cultural awareness and education. The second point is facilitating cross-cultural collaboration, and the last one is by being a role model. So without further ado, let's look at the first point, which is promoting cultural awareness and education. So teachers should educate students about the diversity of cultures and religions within the classroom and broader society. This helps to break down misconceptions and encourages students to appreciate differences. So for my school, 90% of the students are Orang Asli and only 10% of them are a Malays. That them are Malays. So the Malays is the minority in my school. So of course the students have faced some stereotypes or misconception about the Orang Asli. So the major stereotypes for this point is the Orang Asli serve as primitive or uncivilized. Okay. So this stereotype stems from historical perceptions of indigenous peoples as being less developed or sophisticated than other ethnic group, especially those of Malays, Chinese, Indians descent. So this view is based on outdated and inaccurate assumptions about their way of life, particularly their traditional lifestyle, which often include living in rural or forested areas. But the reality is the Orang Asli have their own rich cultural heritage, languages, and traditions that have evolved over centuries. So while some may continue to live in rural or forested areas, many of them are increasingly engaged in education, business, and also a modern society. So, for example, by incorporating lessons on different cultural practices, festival, and religious belief, or even inviting students to share their own cultural background in class discussion, like the picture there, okay, the students were showcasing a traditional way of welcoming guests to the school. And after the ceremony, they continue to do the Sewang dance. So the Malay kids in the school can learn about other cultures and also appreciate the culture. And they are not only stuck in the Malay culture, like welcoming people by using kompang or whatsoever. So this type of activity can erase the prejudice and stereotypes among the students. Okay, and also the students can celebrate diversity in the school. Okay, it can highlight the unique cultural and religious background of your students by integrating their diverse perspective into the curriculum and activities. So the second point is by facilitating cross-cultural collaboration. So teachers should encourage students from diverse backgrounds to collaborate on projects, working together to achieve common goals. This fosters mutual respect and helps break down stereotypes by emphasizing shared interests. Okay, so usually there is a stereotype that orang asli people are and uneducated, illiterate, or unaware of contemporary issues. But the reality is, these stereotypes fail to recognize the barriers to education that many orang asli communities face, such as geography isolation, poverty, and lack of resources. However, many orang asli children attend schools, and there have been increasing effort by both the Malaysian government and NGOs to provide education and improve literacy rates within orang asli communities. So teachers can create group assignments or projects that require students from both Malay and Orang Asli backgrounds to work together in a group. So for example, a project on local history, environmental conservation, or community tradition can provide a natural opportunity for collaboration. So through collaboration, students can learn about each other cultures, share knowledge, and break down the stereotypes. Okay, the joint effort will foster teamwork, communication, and a sense of shared purpose. So, as you can see there in the picture, it is actually KMR project conducted by both the Orang Asli and the Malays. They need to work together in a group, right? So, this can obviously foster positive interaction among them. So the last point is by being a role model. Okay, teachers should model respectful and inclusive behavior by treating all students equally, regardless of their ethnic or religious background. Their action and words set the tone for the classroom environments. Okay, for example, using language that is inclusive and not offensive to any culture or religion, and demonstrating kindness and respect of interaction with students from diverse background. Okay, so the role of teacher is we must show a deep respect for all cultures, traditions, and belief system. Okay, by respecting students cultural backgrounds, teachers set an example for students to follow. Okay, for example, a teacher might greet students in different languages. Okay, use culturally inclusive materials, or demonstrate interest in students' cultural holidays by showing that all cultures are valued in the classroom. Okay, so for example, me myself, I had to use I had to use Semai language in my classroom just to attract their attention. So by incorporating their languages, they can feel relatable to me as Malay and also as their teacher. Okay, so this helps students see the importance of respecting one another's differences and promotes an atmosphere of inclusivity. Right. So, in conclusion, in the context of education, sociocultural diversity presents both significant challenges and exciting opportunities. So the challenges include overcoming language barriers, addressing stereotypes and prejudices, ensuring equitable access to resources, and promoting inclusivity in environment that may have diverse cultural, ethnic, and religious background. So these challenges, if not managed effectively, it can hinder student engagement, academic success, and social cohesion within the school. So, moreover, sociocultural diversity can enhance creativity, broaden students' worldviews, and equip them with the skills needed to navigate and thrive in an increasingly globalized society. So, I think that is all from me and my group. So, thank you for listening. Bye bye.